Wakey.
Welcome back to I'll Make a Stay Out of You, the podcast where I, Tom, am no longer drunk and we can get on with the SKZ Code stuff.
Yeah, we're recording tonight watching SKZ Code, and it happens to be Mafia. And so we're going to, we stopped mid-episode to have Tom declare his reasoning as the boys vote for who they think is the Mafia. And we want to get it all in there. We want to fit it all in. And then because we're in the midst of watching it, I won't be able to go off topic and talk about Gundam, which is definitely something I'm going to do, but that's going to happen later.
Oh, speaking of, I don't know why Gundam is part of this, but Anna and I actually watched something recently, and we kept meaning to bring it up, and like we wanted to talk to you about it, but we were like, no, we gotta save it. We gotta save it for the podcast. We gotta deposit these coins into the and chat is going crazy right now because we're 2 seconds in and we're already off topic.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll wait. We'll hold our off-topic stuff until after we finish the episode.
I think that's fair. Because while we were getting the recording stuff set up, we got off on another topic that I just want to. So recently, kind of for our birthdays, I bought Anna and I new phones, because like I got a deal because I use Google Fi for our provider, and they sent me an email and they were like, hey, you can get like up to 50% off the new line of phones, because you're a subscriber or whatever. And I was like, oh shit, okay. And so I looked at it and like, yeah, sure enough, I got both new phones half off. So
nice.
Pretty fucking good. But what I was like, I use Android now, and we were switching, and because they were for Samsung phones, I had to switch Anna off of iPhones. Which I think she prefers. I don't know. She can tell you because you get more customization with Android.
Well, then I'm gonna kind of. I mean, like, there's a lot of customization on iPhone now. You haven't had one for a few years, but sure, if you say so.
Okay.
But that does mean that I'm gonna should I boot both of you off of my Apple family, or
if you need to make room, sure.
I don't really need to make room, but I'm still paying for storage for Anna, so I'll boot her. I wasn't paying for storage for you, Tom. So I can. But I can leave you on, and then you'll get Apple TV Plus, and you'll be able to watch all the good shows on there.
Yeah. Well.
And they
anyway, so my last phone, I just didn't think there was going to be a big difference, and so with these phones, I was like, well, I didn't need to worry about the storage space because I can just pop in an SD card, just like my other phone.
Sure, yeah.
So I just went with the smallest size. Like storage size, right, for these phones. And come to find out, after I get it, you can't fucking put an SD card in this one. I have the Galaxy S22 Ultra, and I bought the smallest storage size because I was like, well, I got an SD card, I'm just gonna pop in, and there's no fucking slot for it.
That's funny. Wow.
So I'm just like, what the shit? Not that it really matters, because
it matters a little.
Not really. I don't put a lot on my phone. I mean, like I was looking at like what all storage stuff, like the most storage that I used on my other phone was for TikToks that I had saved. And it was like 5% of my total storage. Wow. So like the TikToks don't take up a lot of space. So it's not good.
We got, Logan's iPad is 64 gigs, and we thought that's plenty of space for a 5-year-old. But that shit is so full all the time.
Yeah. Well, he does those little audio stuff.
Right, yeah, he makes like songs in GarageBand, and then he makes videos and in Clips. He's the only one that uses the app Clips, but yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, let's hear your explanation.
The phone, I mean, the camera on my new phone is like really good. It's so good. To look at the pictures that I've been taking. You know what I'm saying? I took that. Actually, no, that was my old phone. But I got some new pictures. You know, I sent that picture of the of that sunrise.
I know, of the sunrise.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. Okay. All right, Tom. Okay, it's the first night of Mafia. You've heard their arguments, some of their stories. Who do you think is the Mafia at this point?
Okay, so they were sitting around having their discussion about what happened and who could potentially be at fault here. And one thing that I noticed, I think that I noticed this, is that IN seemed really keen on trying to trip people up on their words and pointing and trying to accuse them more than anything. So I don't know if there's a jester role in this game or if it's just like everyone is a town and then there's one mafia, but IN seems pretty fucking sus right now, in my opinion.
Sus. All right. Well, let's find out. Let's find out what happens and see what everybody, all of the actual boys' votes are. Let's hit it, shall we?
Yeah. Unless you want to talk about something else.
No. I'll get to my look. We'll talk about Gundam soon.
Okay.
A few moments later.
All right. It is night number 2.
Yes.
Tom. So far, we've heard a lot of chaos. It seems like everyone has reason to kill the owner for various reasons.
Yeah.
The most recent we heard was that Han's parents were killed in a hit-and-run accident by a man who had a big mole on his arm, and it turns out the owner of the cafe had a big mole on his arm. So,
yes.
Who do you think committed the murder?
I still think it's IN. You know, it's got to be, right? Because
really?
Yeah, because he has remained okay. So initially, right, like day one or whatever, he was very outspoken, you know, and accusatory and everything. And now day 2, he's very quiet, unusually quiet. He's letting everyone else.
The pressure's building.
Right. He's letting everyone else like pick apart their different things and staying in the background. He's not saying too much to bring attention to himself now. He's letting everyone else, you know, take the heat and whatnot so that he can get away with it. Unless, you know, there's these few things like when there was some pressure getting put on our idol, you know, he was like, "Oh, I was such a fan," you know, like putting another dig at him, being like, "Oh, yeah."
Although, you know, maybe because IN was such a fan, he probably heard about this story and knew about the mole. Maybe. I don't know. It's possible. Nobody else is suspicious at this point to you? You think IN is like the shoe-in?
Anyone I definitely don't think it is. Okay, I mean, IN, I think he's my strongest suspect. If I had to pick someone that I think it's definitely not.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's tough. That's a tough one.
Well, it can't be everyone.
Yeah, well,
I mean, Chongbean's the detective.
It can be everyone. I mentioned it earlier after they all like had their different reasons. I was like, Murder on the Orient Express, dude. You ever seen it?
Spoilers for Murder on the Orient Express.
Yeah.
A Poirot story, which is excellent.
Yeah. And very old. So if you haven't seen it, or even the remake. Read it.
Yeah. I mean, you could, there's many versions of it, but I suggest the version with David Suchet.
Anna,
the Poirot.
You have seen it. We own the Blu-ray. We watched it together. Yes.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do? Sometimes you don't remember movies. I know that happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
But all right, okay. Well, let's continue on, see how they vote, and move on to night 3 of Mafia with Stray Kids.
Okay.
No.
All right, Tom. It's the final night. Who do you think finally, after watching them have their debates. They gave their final messages of who could be who. Most people, I feel like, did not give a lot away in their final message, other than Seungmin, who was just like, "Oh, brush your teeth. I'm a dentist." So that is important. Everybody, brush your teeth, floss. He didn't say floss. Maybe he's not a dentist. Anyway, who do you think it is?
Your gums are bleeding. Stab. I still think it's IN.
Still think it's IN. All right, IN, ride or die. Well, I mean, die, I guess, because he would have been the murderer.
Yeah.
I will say one other thing I'll say about this show is that there was one screenshot that was leaked from these episodes, like during that interim period where everything was gone and the hiatus was happening. And it was like, it was a picture of them sitting around this table, and there was the wings in the background. And people were like, what are the fucking wings? Because like the last thing they had done was that board game. And so people were just like, what is happening? Like what happens next on SKZ Code? Will we ever find out? Because it was months later that this came out, and they gave no indication that it was going to be released until they announced that Hyunjin was back from the hiatus. So, there was no guarantee it was coming. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so IN. Final answer. IN.
Probably.
Lock it in. Here's the thing. I don't remember who it is.
Oh, well, okay. So they didn't say what. Okay, so like I'm trying to think, because like in Town of Salem, like it's not just Town and Mafia. You know what I mean? Everyone has a different thing. So like,
yeah, in this one they don't have abilities. They have like a pre-written story. They know their own backstory, and they have to suss it out of each other or admit it when they're in a bad spot to try and gain some innocence. Right.
Yeah. So I think okay. There's two possibilities here for IN. Either he is the murderer, or his role is to make people think he's the murderer.
Oh, interesting.
And
because he's making you think
he's
the murderer.
Because I've played a shitload of Town of Salem, right? And I suss out a jester easy.
Sure. Yeah.
So, if there's a jester, he's the jester. If there's not a jester, he's the murderer.
Okay. All right. So do you have anyone, now to return to the question from the last night, is there anyone that you're like guaranteed 100% this person is innocent? You got 7 other choices.
I know.
And it's okay to be wrong. That's like part of the fun, right?
Sure, yeah. No, yeah, but okay, I think I don't. My Changbin would never kill. He's safe.
Chronosaurus all along.
But also, Seungmin is a devious little trickster. So
he is a devious little trickster, and Lee No is not drawing a lot of attention, even though he's like the rich guy that owned the building and everything. He's just like one sentence accusing everyone else. So
yeah, but why would he?
But he also is an agent of chaos. So like maybe he's just sowing chaos for no reason. Because you've done that. We've been in games of Town of Salem. Or remember when we had Werewolves Within on PSVR?
Yeah.
And you would lean over and whisper to somebody, and you'd be like, what did you say? I don't even remember. You'd be like, psst. And then you would pop back up, and then you would like be purposefully like suspicious for no reason.
Yeah.
What do you remember what you said? What you would tell people when you would lean over?
No, that was so long ago. That was like 10 years ago or something.
I know. It was like a long time ago.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. You would say like, oh man, you're like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
And then pop back up. I don't know. It was funny to me. Anyway, okay, all right. Anyone, 100%.
Oh, I think innocent. Maybe one of my tactics was because in order to whisper with someone, you both had to be like leaning into each other,
Right.
And so like I would lean over to someone and be like, hey, who do you think it is? And then I'd lean back so that they couldn't talk to me. And then I would like call them out for like trying to lean over and whisper to me. I'd be like, this guy's trying to whisper to me, you know?
Yeah. But you would do that even if you weren't Mafia or werewolf.
Yeah.
So funny.
All right,
Just pure
going
chaos.
IN if there's no jester. If there is jester, he's the jester. Otherwise, it's probably I'm always forever will be suspicious of Sungmin now because he's just so devious. Lino is too though. So
what about
IN,
innocence?
Sungmin, Lino, everyone else is safe.
Okay, you think everyone else is innocent other than those three. All right. Let's see the conclusion.
Okay.
All right. Tom,
This tea
we
is
are back.
hot.
This tea is hot?
Yeah, Anna brought me some tea.
The
Oh my
truth.
gosh.
I'm on my third glass of wine.
Oh.
Tom's having tea.
Yeah.
We've traded spots a little bit. Tom had a lot more to drink than me last episode. It's not.
I did drink a little bit last episode. No, it's fine. Yeah, Roxy's just gonna make noise, and it's gonna be on the recording.
Yeah, why not?
Yes.
Why not? That's great.
Yeah, I'm talking about you.
That's great. Anyway,
Yeah.
so we had the whole Mafia thing wrap up. Tom, you guessed that the Mafia was IN.
Yeah.
However, you did do the shit thing and try and loop in other people, but that doesn't count. Your choice was IN. Your choice was IN, and you were wrong. You lose.
He was obviously the jester.
Well, I don't think there is any other roles. Sungmin was the Mafia.
Uh-huh.
So you were suspicious of him, and they were suspicious of him. They locked him up after the first night.
Yeah.
But yeah, turns out Sungmin was the Mafia. He survived the firebombing attack by the owner of the cafe. He had plastic surgery performed on him by IN in the hospital, which caused IN to get fired. They found the flash drive that showed that he forged his documents to become a dentist. And then they were just like, yeah, but you know what? I think it's Bang Chun because he was looking for evidence. Meanwhile, it's actually the truth of the matter is just that Bang Chun is a tryhard, and it was just like, man, I gotta find who did it. I gotta find the evidence.
Yeah, and they have the
It's
evidence.
pretty great. Also, like, Sungmin had fake tattoos of Puppyum, the SKZ, his SKZ character, all up his arm, and I'm like, nobody noticed. Like, what?
Yeah.
Nobody noticed that? Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was pretty funny. So, yeah, it was good. So Sungmin won. It was a good episode. This was actually really hilarious. I loved all the interactions, all the jokes. And then, of course, in the bloopers at the end, they sang that, in the jungle while Bang Chan played the drums. So, yeah, it was good.
Did they sing it, or did they just kind of like...
They just kind of
acapella
vocalized it. Yeah, they just kind of did a little vocalization there. Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You are right. I think you are right to be suspicious of Sungmin, but in the end, your prediction itself was wrong. So what are you gonna do?
Well,
maybe you'll be more right if we play Town of Salem.
Look, I will always say things with confidence, and then at the last second say, but I could be wrong. And I think that that is justification enough.
Is that a get out of jail free card? Can you
yeah.
just do that? Can you just murder someone and be like, I could have been wrong?
Yeah.
And then they'll just be like, oh, let him go.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Right.
Come on.
Like, I
Let him
felt
go. He said he could
justified.
be wrong.
I felt justified in murdering this person, but I could have been wrong. Yeah.
He could have been wrong.
Yeah.
So, could have been wrong.
I will always admit my faults once they have been proven to me that they were faults in the first place.
It was good. Well, so how do you feel? I mean, like, we got to see like them doing some acting, some joking. let me get your temperature on the members, right? Because like I was just listening to our most recently released episode. Well, yeah, the boys are hot. But I was listening to the most recent episode, and you had talked about Lino moving down to your number 8. Has the chart adjusted at all? Did you see something from any other members that made you go, "Oh, I see you. All right." You know, what was your sense of them over these couple episodes, you know?
I think it's still kind of tough for some members to get a spot. Obviously, like the answer that everyone wants me to have is OT8, but I just don't think that that's possible for me because Changbin is better than everyone, and
yeah, you think he did a really good job as the detective?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Even though he didn't.
So. He fucking
Are you saying
he made after he tried to lock up Seungmin and he kind of tightened it too tight and then Seungmin had to adjust it. He made everyone just lock themselves up. He didn't even do that part. His job was to like handcuff people. The little robot voice was like, "You need to handcuff them," and he was like, "Do it yourself." Yeah. Go handcuff yourself. Like, come on.
Okay.
Anyway,
well,
yeah, it was good. Yeah.
So the other thing is, I don't remember what episode it was that I commented on this. Is that because Hyunjin was missing from All of Kingdom, other members kind of got a spotlight over him.
Right. They climbed up. Yeah.
Right. And I never wanted to like hold that against him because like I felt like he would have maintained that spotlight. He would have maintained. Me seeing 100%. Him.
Yeah. Right. After we watched Play with Fire, you were questioning your sexuality. So it's, yeah, definitely.
I'm very I'm very secure in my sexuality.
Right.
80%.
Right. Roxy, stop playing with the toy.
Okay, Roxy, get out of here.
All right, Roxy, get out of here. All right. Anyway.
Yeah, but so the thing is Hyunjin is he's up there. He's still up there for me. Even though some people have had opportunities to shine. He's just a beautiful man, and
he really is.
He's funny.
He is. Yes, he's very funny.
And I can't get over the fact that he's a bully. I mean, that is just like, oh my God.
Come on, let it go. Fucking, this is not the week for Stay to hear that. Like, it has been a fucking ordeal. Okay?
Oh, really?
We do not want to talk about it.
Spoilers?
It's spoilers, but man, like, just like, I mean, we've talked about it. Like, when we talked about the episode where we like discussed his whole deal, is that like, I was annoyed because every time like a Western journalist writes about Stray Kids, they're like, "Oh, Hyunjin had a bullying scandal," and they talk about it, and it happened fucking again with like a large media outlet that put out an article about Stray Kids, and it's fucking ridiculous. Yeah. And they've since edited it because they've had a lot of pushback from Stay, but everybody's still pissed off about it. Like, it's bullshit. It's been over a year. The quote unquote victims, the other parties involved in the thing, as we discussed long ago. Look, the guy who wrote the article could have listened to our fucking episode covering it and gone, "Oh, okay, there's no story here," and then left it out.
Right.
Like, it would have been that easy.
Right.
Like, come the fuck on.
Maybe
right.
What
they
we
also included Woojin in their original description of Stray Kids.
Oh.
They were like, "Oh yeah, they started as 9 members with Woojin." And it's like, motherfucker, he wasn't in there for any of their success. Get the fuck out of here. Still, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just really frustrating. I don't know. It's just
maybe what we ought to do is let's do an episode where we fucking like piece together all of this controversy, right? And the conclusion to it. And then anytime a fucking article comes out where some stupid ass journalist hasn't done their research, we can just be like, hey, go listen to this and edit your fucking article. We
technically
dumbass.
did. I mean, we could just point to the episode that we already have. Like, hey, if you want to know about it, here it is.
Right.
But yeah, it's anyway.
Yeah. But you're
anyway,
doing
yeah,
these,
it was
these TikTok clips. You can just take there you go. This is the conclusion.
Right. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. We should. I don't know. Anyway, Jeanette and I have been talking about doing like a little bonus episode and a side to talk about current day events and stuff.
Yeah.
And of course, Jeanette had suggested before all this stuff happened. She had suggested she was like like it's almost the weekend. This was like last week. She was like, maybe we should record one because like I don't know, like the kids have been sick. Like what if we get sick and then we won't want to record one? Maybe we have a night where we could do it. And I was like, nah, I just don't feel it right now. And then we both immediately got sick.
Yeah.
And then I like lost my voice and I haven't really got it all the way back yet, but my lower range is well. I was very deep for like at least a couple days there where I didn't even have like a mid range in my voice, and so I like got up in the morning and I was like, hello everybody, Papa's just gonna get you some cereal. Is everybody ready to get ready for the day? Like it was pretty funny. So,
well, also you came when we were talking about it yesterday, right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, do you think you can? And then we got into a voice call, and you were like, yeah, I mean, I can record. And I was like, oh yeah, you sound fine. And then you were like, yeah, but what if I do? It's like, okay, I got
right,
you.
yeah,
not gonna work.
My high range is still gone. Yeah, I have no high range. Yeah, I can do cooking like a chef. I'm a 5-star Michelin, but I can't go very high. It's no good.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, but I'm fine. I feel okay right now. But it's all right.
So let me tell you about
COVID.
this thing.
I test all the time. Yeah, what's the thing? You gonna tell me about a thing?
So Anna and I were watching. We were hanging out on the couch. When was this? Like a week ago? Less than a week ago. And we were trying to find something to watch while we ate dinner. Oh. And we found a movie. What was it on? Was it on Hulu or Amazon? I forget.
I don't know.
Called Willy's Wonderland. Right? Isn't that what it's called? Willy's Wonderland. And it's like a live action Five Nights at Freddy's, except the protagonist gets to fight the gets to fight the animatronics. Now,
all right.
I don't want to give too many spoilers because it's okay. It's a fucking bad movie. But
right. But I like bad movies.
Yeah,
sometimes.
I mean it is just not a good movie. But so I'm gonna spoil it.
Okay,
one of the I'm gonna
away.
spoil the thing that I didn't want spoiled for me while I was watching it, because I wanted to see it through to the end to make sure that it was true. And the thing is, this movie stars Nicolas Cage. Actually, I think he's credited as just Nick Cage in this.
Nick Cage, yeah,
in the film, and I don't know. We're like 20-30 minutes in, and he hasn't said a single fucking word. And so So I turned to Anna, and I'm like, I'm gonna make a prediction here, and I feel like his contract, like his agreement to do this movie, was that he would not have any lines, and he's gonna go the entire movie without saying a single word.
No way.
Right? And spoilers. Yeah, he doesn't say a single fucking thing the whole movie. Yes.
That's the greatest. What a champion.
He has no lines. The entire movie, he doesn't say a single fucking word, but he does do some grunting. He does some grunting, and because he's fighting animatronics. But yeah, I want to know. I feel like this is one of those things where I want to do a deep dive like we did on the There's a Sequel episodes where like I just went way hard in research on this shit because I want to know. Nick, if you're listening, tell us, was that in your contract? Like when you was there a script where the protagonist had lines and you were like, I'll do this movie, but I'm not saying a fucking word.
That's incredible.
I need to know this.
He is possibly the greatest actor of ours or any generation.
Yeah.
So like, because like the thing about Nick Cage, like love him or hate him,
I
like,
love him.
He goes for it 100% of the time.
Every time.
Like I love that about him. Like it's so good. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, that sounds awesome. I should give it a shot because I like all like his random B movies that he does because he'll just say yes to any script. Like it's awesome.
So if you wanna watch a movie where Nick Cage fights animatronics and says nothing the entire movie, Willy's Wonderland. It's bad.
So as we were like getting ready to start our recording, because we had just listened to a bunch of music, I put the song "Drive" by Bangchan and Lino on repeat.
Mm-hmm. That song's about fucking.
It is. I mean, it's just about driving. I don't know what you're talking about. That's just rude. And it was written by Lino, so. Mm-hmm. Although Lino insists that it was written by Bangchan, so it's hard to know. It's really hard to know. Anyway, so yeah, we put it on repeat. We were listening to it, and I was talking to Jeanette, and she was like, "You should tell the story." So I'm going to tell it. It's not a long story, but there was one night we may have even have just gotten done like recording or something, and we were getting ready for bed. And Jeanette was like, "I'm going to hop in the shower," and so she goes in there. She turns on her Bluetooth speaker. And she starts playing like Stray Kids music because of course, what else are you gonna do? And so I was gonna watch whatever documentary I always put on, right? And I noticed that her phone, she like left her phone on my nightstand because she like plugged it into my charger because mine is closest to the door.
Your charger.
Yes, my charger. She has her own on her side, but she didn't want to walk around the bed, so she just plugged it into mine instead.
Right.
So it was next to me. So I leaned over and opened up YouTube and then put on Drive. And she was like, "What?" Because, of course, it's not in a streaming platform. I just opened YouTube.
Yeah.
And so I opened it up and I played it, and I think I played it a few times, which I may for someone who's not my wife be like, "What the hell?" But for my wife, she was like, "That is so sweet that you would do that." Like, yeah. So
I like Drive. Drive's a good song.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Get it. I know that from the beginning of this recording tonight, we have been just tossing coins at our audience. But
right,
you mentioned something about Gundam, and I think we need to circle back to that.
So I don't know what started it. You know what? I do. I saw a trailer, a really short trailer. There's like a new Gundam series that's coming out called The Witch of Mercury, something like that. I don't know. And I was like, oh man, I love Gundam. But when I was a kid, from like video stores or whatever, the only thing you could find was there was like a 3-movie box set that they released. That was like they took the entire series, the original series of Gundam, and they packaged it into 3 VHS tapes, and so I had that. Of course, I don't have it anymore, but I wish I did. And so I thought, you know what? I'm an adult. I will watch the entire series of Gundam, not the shitty ones that people like that are not me, like G Gundam. Or the other one that everybody likes that I don't, because like the problem with those is that like what I remember about Gundam and loving about Gundam is that like it's like it's a story about how like war is bad and you shouldn't do war and how it fucks people up. And the series is so all about that. But like the newer series, the stuff that were like on Toonami and stuff, it was like, okay, what if we had child soldiers, but they had cool themed robots that had animal powers? Or in the case of G Gundam, it was like, what if it was a martial arts tournament but with robots? And I'm just like, motherfucker, like you're making it fun. Meanwhile, like I've been watching it. I'm about halfway through the original series, and it's just like every episode I just like have to give Jeanette like a download of what happened. I'm like, so yeah, he met his mom. She's like, I don't recognize you anymore. You're not my son because like you're a killer. And he's like, I'm just doing what I have to do. They put me in here. I'm only 15. And she's like, I just, you shouldn't point guns at people. And he's like, we're in a war. And then like he's just like a child soldier being used for battle. And it's fucked up and it's really good. It's really good. Anyway, so if you haven't seen Gundam. If you haven't seen Gundam, I suggest it. Also, anime related and Stray Kids related related
back
to this
on topic.
episode.
Stop with the coins.
We are on topic.
Cease the coins.
We are on topic, okay? When they were all doing their final accusations, they started humming a song. There was a song that they were humming. And it was a song that is used in Detective Conan, which is an anime about like a little kid who solves mysteries.
Yeah.
So so they like hummed it. I'll put it in here because our boys watch anime. That's right.
Yeah.
It's one of the longest running animes of all time. It is excellent.
Detective
Conan is an extremely good show. Like especially if you like we've been talking about these murder mysteries and stuff, like Murder on the Orient Express. If you like that kind of show, you will like Detective Conan.
Well, clearly
it's
Anna does not like that kind of show because she doesn't even remember watching the movie with me.
Well, all right, fair enough. But it's like, it's really good. It's like this little kid, and well, he's not a little kid. He's like a teenager, and then a mafia person like gives him a drug that shrinks him back into his child size, and so he has to pretend to be a new kid, and he like adopts himself into his girlfriend's family. Anyway, it's good. It's
what?
Good.
I didn't know all that about it. Jesus
what do you mean?
Christ.
You didn't know that about it?
No, I did not.
There is like weirdly a it's not necessary, but there's like a guide where you can be like, just watch the episodes that relate, because there is like a main story, but it's like 100 episodes between actual things that are like, oh, remember the guys from the very first episode? Turns out they're still involved in this case. And it's like, really, like, it's just there to set the premise, and then for them to go, okay, here's a locked room and a really convoluted way this person was murdered. Now solve it.
Right.
And it's great. I love it. It's so good. Also,
Attack on Titan is super good. There's still more to come, right? Isn't there? Or are we done?
I don't know.
I feel
probably.
Like, there's still. Yeah. Because they were like, this is the final season, and then they released some of it, and then they were like, okay, that's it for now. It's still the final season, but we're not done with it. Stay tuned, But like,
I don't know, man.
God.
Like, I didn't finish the first final season, let alone the second one.
Okay. I sat on Attack on Titan for a while, and it was a mistake. I watched years. Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So Anna, like I had no interest in it at all. And then Anna was like, it's one of my favorite animes ever. You got to watch it. And I think we watched season 1 together. And then I was like, okay, maybe I'll continue watching. Didn't get back into it for a long time. And then Anna started watching the season where they're going over, where they leave the island and they're going overseas, and they start like doing that stuff, and so I would catch like little glimpses of it, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And she's like, you gotta catch up. So then I had to go back and watch season 1, and then after season 1 I started watching season 2, and that's when I was like, you know what, this shit is fucking good, and I just had to keep watching it, and now I'm fully caught up. So
wow,
yeah,
well, good for you.
It's fucking good. You gotta watch it.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, when we started to watch it again, we were like getting caught up. I think we caught up to the actual show, and that's always a problem for me because
Right.
like for what we
'Cause then
want
you
to
gotta
binge,
wait.
right? Right. Then we have to wait for a
Yeah.
weekly episode, and then if we wait a week, I'll just start watching something different. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I we should probably watch it, but I don't know. We watch so many shows. In fact, I need to watch this week's episode of Welcome to Wrexham, which I've started watching. Have you watched that show?
No.
This is related because you know who that show it's Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, okay.
Right?
All right.
Um,
So, like, what are all the things that we tie in that we
related.
can
He's
say
a
this
stay.
is related to Stray Kids? Like, okay, so we got Ryan Reynolds is related to Stray. So if we talk about anything Ryan Reynolds, we're talking about Stray Kids. Stray Kid. I don't want to get rid of these coins, Sassy. I'm deleting these messages. Okay, this is not up top.
I
We're getting
can
rid of these.
explain to you how this is on topic.
It's gonna take so long. I can't keep.
Put
I
those
can't keep
coins
up. All
away.
right. Mods.
All right.
I can't even ask the mods to do this because they're participating.
They're just making up for time because you know what? This is bullshit. All right. I start talking about Gundam. It's coins all the way down. You talked about Attack on Titan. No coins. No coins.
Yeah.
Bullshit. I call bullshit. These coins mean nothing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm talking about something
You know
actually
what?
real.
You know what? No
First
matter
off,
how many coins you put, I'm not paying out tonight. So you know what? Have at it. Do whatever you want. There's no payout tonight.
First off, okay, all right. Welcome to Wrexham is excellent. It's very good. And like, do you ever watch like 30 for 30?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like a sports documentary. And what I like about sports documentaries is that they tell the narrative side of sports without actually having to watch 40 matches in a season, right?
Yeah.
So I don't have to do that to like keep up with it. You get the narrative, you get to meet the players. Like it's great, right?
Mhm.
I love that. And that's why I like watching like 30 for 30s and stuff or sports anime. I watch a shitload of that.
Yeah.
I do. Haikyuu, hell yeah. Haikyuu, or anything by Adachi, which is like loosely sports, but regardless. So Welcome to Wrexham is
What's the
is,
anime
of
where
course-
they're like it's like water sports but with butts. That's an anime, right?
Yes.
That's a good
It's
one.
not just butts, they use their boobs too.
Oh yeah,
okay?
right. Sorry.
It's Keijo with like 15 exclamation points,
Yeah.
not parts. Anyway, it's really funny. It's what's great about Keijo. Now you give me coins. Go ahead. What's great about Keijo is that like when you first see it, you think of it like that. You're like, oh yeah, it's like water sports, but they use their butts and boobs to attack each other.
Yeah.
But the thing about that show is that like they don't treat it like a joke, and they don't treat it like it's like ecchi.
Right.
They treat it like a serious sports series,
Right.
and it works somehow. It's great. Anyway, so
I don't even
back to Welcome to Wrexham.
Okay,
Let me
sure,
please.
sorry. I just want okay, real quick though. Whatever Meg just said, this doesn't sound like anyone's cup of tea. Horse girl? No. Moving on.
All right. Anyway, right. So Welcome to Wrexham. So it's a series made by Ryan Reynolds and him and what's his name from Always Sunny. They want to buy a football team in the UK. And so it's like all about them trying to buy the team and then try and remake the team because they basically find out that like the English football system is like a tiered system, and you have to like battle your way into higher tiers, and you could fall out of tiers, right? So it's like Ted Lasso, but in reality.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that like because of the show, like people are getting interested in this team for Wrexham, and so Ryan Reynolds was like, hey, we want to be able to stream the games live internationally because international fans are going to want to watch this. And and they were like, oh well, like the people, I don't know how to describe it, like the people in charge of this
Federation.
the federation, the people in charge of all of football, they they said that they can't do it, and because they already they have some deal with like BBC Sports or whatever, and so Ryan Reynolds went on Twitter and he was just like, I just cannot believe this decision. It seems boneheaded. It would benefit everyone. There's no reason not to do it. And he wasn't going to get a response, right? So he puts that tweet out, and then Stays on Twitter were like, hey, that's a stay right there being fucked over by someone. And so Stays started like retweeting and like quote tweeting and being like, this is bullshit. You should listen to Ryan, blah, blah, blah. And like it became this like huge thing where he got like 50,000 retweets. And then the Federation was like forced to actually address it and be like, okay, here's what happened. Like they had to like publicly announce, like, okay, so the thing is that we already signed a contract with BBC Sports to create an international streaming platform to do this, but it's not ready yet. And so, but because they already have the contract, we can't like give the contract to somebody else because it already exists. There's not like a clause for that. And so they had to like, Stays and Ryan Reynolds were able to like dig this out because we were like, and all it was a tweet from him saying like, this is fucked up. I can't believe that this is happening, and I'm really disappointed. And Stays just like went for it, and then like some articles were coming out that were like, Ryan Reynolds finds help from an unlikely source by weaponizing K-pop fans, and then Stays comment on those articles and we're like, hey, fuck you. Ryan is a stay. He didn't use us. We defend Stays, support Stays. So fuck you. Get out of our faces. It was awesome. Like people were just like, nobody weaponized us. We did this for him because he matters to us because he's one of us.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. It was, yeah, we volunteered. Nobody made us do this, and it was awesome. And then I actually watched the show after all this happened, and it's so good. They did such a good job making it. I'm really like, it's hard for me to watch shows that release weekly, but I really am gonna try with this one because it's so good. I really enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was cool. Yeah. Ryan Reynolds, we love you.
Yeah.
Okay. Please let Stray Kids do music for Deadpool 3. Please, please, please. That's all I want.
That would be pretty dope.
How amazing would that be, right?
Wow.
I want it so bad. All right. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about podcast, because next week we are going to come back with something called Song Camp. And this is a short series where basically the boys split into subunits, maybe some that you wouldn't expect. And they're going to, each of these subunits is going to write and produce their own song and music video, which is going to be on their next album.
Oh.
Now,
so we have to do this before the next album.
Well, yes. I mean, it came out before the next album, and it's awesome. And you get to see the whole process of them like deciding what they want to do. It's like very reminiscent of like the music shows and stuff. Like they're making music. It's great. But for Stays, when it actually came out, here's what happened, right? It's 5 episodes. We watched them as they came out over the course of 5 weeks, and then we're like, all right, so how about those songs? And then they made us wait until after the album release to actually hear them.
Nice.
I'm not going to make you wait.
Oh, yeah.
What I'm going to do is we're going to watch the first 3 episodes next week, and then the following week, we are going to watch the final 2 and then all of the music videos. And that's actually going to help us in the long run, because that's going to make it so when we actually do get to the album, we will have less songs, and so I hope that fewer of them get lost in the fold.
Okay.
And so we get to enjoy them more
Sure.
when we actually do the whole album.
Yeah.
So yeah, because like Wolfgang is on the next album, Mixtape O, which we've already heard, is on the next album, and then these 3 songs from Song Camp are going to be on there. So we're really trimming down the track list. That way we just get a better like sense of all of the tracks when we actually listen to the full album. So I'm excited for it. I can't wait. I can't wait to get there. I think everybody's gonna love it. So we had our chill time. We had our chill break of no music, and now new music being made by Stray Kids. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want new music.
Well, you got some in the last episode. I mean, the collab that they did, Going Dumb, so good.
Mm-hmm.
Drive, really good,
Drive
but
is
not
good.
available for streaming.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I know you could figure out a way to make it work,
Yeah.
and people have, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Because to me, right, like, if it's not official, if I'm not watching the YouTube video, then that means Stray Kids is not getting a view,
Right.
and that hurts me,
Right.
because it hurts them.
Yeah.
I need to make sure that they get the most amount of exposure, because that's where my life is now. I care about the exposure of a Korean boy group more than just so many things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Yeah. Not my bank account. Don't worry about that. I just worry about the Stray Kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Okay, Tom. Well, that was a fun episode. I enjoyed watching SKZ Code. It's not the last episode of SKZ Code, but it's the last one for a while. It's going to be a while until we get to the next one, so it's going to be good. And we'll see you all in the next episode. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming along on this journey. Hopefully this edits down well and it won't be just ridiculous, but it'll be fun.
Should we do a plug?
Yeah, plug us in. Go ahead, plug us in.
Okay. Find your nearest outlet and plug in a computer and open that.
Yeah, get charging.
Open it up, or a charger to charge your phone. Either go into your computer, go into your phone. Either way, open up a browser. Go to makeastate.com. There you can find all of our links. You can join the Discord. You can check out our shop and buy some cool merch that Jeanette did all the art for. They're fucking awesome.
She's working on new art, by the way.
And you can also check out the Patreon. We've got some Patreon goals that we're working towards. One of them we're really close to. If you have any interest in D&D, then I think you might be interested in this. And we're gonna do a SKZ themed one shot.
That's right.
So check out that Patreon goal as well as the others. One day we will make Phil watch some Fast and Furious movies.
Oh God!
And and if you would like to join us in Discord, you can listen to these recordings live, and you can watch the content that we're doing, listen to the music that we're listening to, all of that, and you can go into a frenzy and chat when we get off topic and spam your SKZ coins and earn your SKZ coins to spend on forcing me to listen to Good Guy.
He said it. I'm gonna have to play it. Everybody, he said it. I'm gonna have to play it right here.
No. Yeah. So yeah, makeastate.com. Check us out.
Okay, bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.